Today we're going to talk about why credit is mandatory in today's society. The short answer, there are two, is inflation and liquidity. So let's talk about inflation first. What is inflation? Well, our monetary system is controlled by the Federal Reserve in the United States. And of course, the United States dollar is essentially the basis for the global monetary system. So I'm going to go to the Federal Reserve's website and read directly from that. On the Q&A page, it says, what is inflation and how does the Federal Reserve evaluate changes in the inflation rate? Inflation is the increase in the prices of goods and services over time. Inflation cannot be measured by an increase in the cost of one product or service, or even several products or services. Rather, inflation is a general increase in the overall price level of the goods and services in the economy. Now, it just so happens that the Federal Reserve has an inflation target, and they address this in their Q&A section as well. Why does the Federal Reserve aim for a 2% inflation rate over time? Low and stable inflation helps the economy operate efficiently. The Federal Open Market Committee judges that an annual increase of inflation of 2% is most consistent over the longer run with the Federal Reserve's mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Now, a lot of this was written prior to COVID. Inflation, of course, during COVID and after is now well over 2%. But over the long term, I think that this knowledge is applicable to everyone. So what they're saying is they have an intention to increase inflation or increase the prices that you pay for goods and services over time. Their target is 2%. They're telling you that they're intentionally going to debase your money by 2% per year. If that is the case, why would you keep large amounts of money in savings? You can't. It doesn't make any sense. Interest rates have been well below 2% for many, many years until COVID occurred, of course. If I go to bankrate.com today, this is March 2023 right now. I'm looking at the best savings accounts interest rates on their website. And we have 3.4, 3.75, 4.25, 4. So that's all over 2, of course. But if you go to the personal consumption expenditures price index, the inflation rate is much higher than that. We have January 2023 of 5.4%, December 5.3, November 2022 5.6, all well above the saving interest rates. So you're going to lose money if you keep it all in the bank. That means that you have to have investments. You have to have investments and you have to outperform inflation. Otherwise, you're losing ground all the time. You need credit in order to purchase real investments. Real investments I define as businesses, real estate. Bonds, of course, are not investments. Why? Because the rates of return are much smaller than the inflation rate. It makes no sense to hold bonds. Now, why do these large institutions and large investors and even small investors, why do they hold bonds? I have no idea. I don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense to me. But one thing that I want you to know is that you don't have to make sense of the whole world. You just have to make sense of your world. Can't explain everything. The other thing is liquidity. Liquidity is the other reason why you absolutely must have credit. And let's define liquidity. I'm going to investopedia.com, and they have a definition here for liquidity of liquidity refers to the efficiency or ease with which an asset or security can be converted into ready cash without affecting its market price. The most liquid asset of all is cash itself. Well, I agree with that second sentence. The most liquid asset of all is cash itself. But cash takes many forms, one of which is debt, cash that you get from debt. I like to define liquidity differently. I like to define liquidity as your ability to pay your expenses or take advantage of an investment opportunity at a moment's notice. And in order to pay your expenses or take advantage of an opportunity, you can pull from cash savings or you can pull from cash debt available to you. And that is why you should be constantly working towards acquiring new debt products, or some people like to call them debt weapons or debt tools. But your whole life should be geared around expanding your portfolio of debt products available to you so that you can stay ahead of inflation by purchasing good investments and having the cash available to take advantage of opportunities. I always like to give an opposing point of view. I want my sons to know that they should go and check opposing points of view. Dave Ramsey is very anti-debt. For those of you that know him or don't know him, just Google Dave Ramsey or YouTube Dave Ramsey and look at his point of view on debt so that you can get a different perspective. He is very anti-debt. That's it for today. I hope you learned something. Remember, credit is mandatory in this society. You need it. You should always be working to improve how your credit looks and the tools available to you. Boys, I miss you. I love you. I hope we're reunited soon. YouTube, if you want to know why I'm the father in exile, the links are in the description. I'll also post the links to the articles that I read from in today's video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.